Oh boy, don't you just love it when Fulham win a game of Premier League football? Welcome to the channel. This video is for my wonderful Patreon members and YouTube as well. Welcome. Let's just talk Fulham v Leicester. In fact, let's just talk Fulham 2, Leicester 1, meaning Fulham grabbed all 3 points thanks to Emile Smith-Rowe and Alex Iwobi, or should I say Alex and Emile Smith-Rowe. Get that chant going, please, for Ipswich away. Here we go then. Let's review the game. I'm using FOTMob to. I'm not sponsored by FOTMob. I wish I was. That would be fantastic, actually. To sort of look through the game, look through the stats. And according to FOTMob, the player of the match, according to their ratings, at 8.3 was one Adama Traore, who got the assist for Emile Smith-Rowe's first goal for Fulham, hopefully first of many. As you can tell, I'm in a wonderful mood. Obviously, I love singing the blues when Fulham win, and Chelsea, well, we'll see what they do later against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Brilliant stuff from Fulham. Let's have a look at the lineups. Both teams were unchanged, so we don't really need to go over it. Both teams were unchanged. Fulham, same team as United. Leicester, same team against Spurs. And of course, that meant that, Muniz kept his place up top. Smith-Rowe and Pereira played, and Lukic will get on to individual performances, but I do have a special word for Sasha Lukic and quite a few others as well. I think it's fair to say I was very impressed with 10 of 11 players for Fulham yesterday. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let's go through how the game went. It was a good game. It wasn't a great game. It was a weird game, really. It was quite stop-starty, especially second half, and Fulham started really well. I mean, really well. Front-footed after 4 minutes. Adama Traore testing the keeper Hermanson, who made a few saves yesterday. Good save from him. Powerful shot from Adama Traore cutting in. And Fulham were good. I mean, they had good spells on the ball. Iwobi was attacking down the left. Robinson was being as brilliant as he usually is, and Adama Traore linking up with Kenny Tete on either side. Smith-Rowe just sort of making things tick in the midfield. Lukic sort of holding his position, and Pereira floating as the 10, and then Muniz up top. It all worked quite well. Bobby D called over Reed almost scored. He let fly from quite a long way out, to be fair, and I thought he should have drove a little bit further forward. Maybe he just thought, I don't fancy scoring against Fulham today. I'm going to have a hit from range. And he hit it well, and it was well saved by Leno. And then, yeah, it was well saved. And that was probably the best they created in the first half up until their goal. We'll get onto that. Actually, right from the off, Leicester kicked off, and already it was Fatawu up against Robinson. That was a really good battle down that left-hand side. Or right-hand side of Leicester's, and Robinson made a really good tackle, and that sort of stamped his authority on proceedings. And yeah, Fulham took the lead after 18 minutes. This was brilliant. It was Fulham played out from the back. The ball fell to Kenny Tete. He floated it forward. Muniz detracted the defender by holding up the ball. He sort of I think he got a touch to it. It fell to the floor, but it fell nicely for Adama Traore, and suddenly Adama had all this space to run into. He had Iwobi one side and Smith-Rowe the other. And in that split second, I'm thinking, okay, obviously play the pass, one, but two, is Iwobi in the way of Smith-Rowe here, who looks more favourable to get the ball and drive forward? Luckily, no one really, it wasn't a cross of wires or anything. The ball fell to Smith-Rowe, and what about that for like that second touch where he just drove into the box, created the space, and the finish was really good. Really, like, it was a finish of like a quality player. And I think that, like, if that was, no disrespect, but if that was someone like Pereira or someone like Alex Iwobi, I don't think they finished it with such aplomb. And I thought it was such a stunning finish. And I may have got quite excited in the press box when that went in. First goal of the season. You're obviously going to celebrate it, of course. And of course, Emile Smith-Rowe off the mark. Quality goal from Fulham, who played some really nice stuff at times in this game. And I thought it was just a really good performance. As a whole, it was a good performance. But in terms of the opening 20 minutes, I thought we were really good. And then Leicester, of course, behind, and they've got to come back into the game. But I thought Fulham largely had the better of it. And then 2 minutes later, what a ball by Robinson on like first time. He's sort of running out of space, still gets his cross in. It's high, it's looping, but it's a good cross because it's asking questions of Rodrigo Muniz, and suddenly he's in between two defenders. He gets up high, and the commentator on the extended highlights Sky Sports put out last night described it as Mitrovic-esque. Or actually, it was Tony Gale on Cocoms. He basically said, Muniz's header was Mitrovic-esque, and it was like the way he got up, headed it, and it was just wide. I thought it was in. I think everyone thought it was in who was sort of in the Johnny Haynes side of the ground, and it was a really, really close effort, just wide of the post. And I thought, oh, could Fulham live to regret missing that chance? And yeah, they did regret it, because at the end of the first half, about 38 minutes in, it was a goal for Leicester. Now, Buonanotte with the corner, about fast gets up, heads it in. I'm thinking, goal. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And then suddenly the flag goes up for something, offside, of course. And then you just think to yourself, oh, actually, if VAR look at this, this could go in our favour. Vardy, is he standing in line with Leno? Maybe. But this is going to sound quite strange. I'm obviously a Fulham fan, but I'm quite glad for the game, in terms of for the rules of the game and for the referee's stance and the referee's authority. I'm quite glad this goal was given, because referee's on-field decision was goal, which is quite key in this. Linesman goes, I think there's an offside there. I'm going to put my flag up. And then suddenly, VAR are talking and saying, okay, well, we think that Vardy might be standing in offside position and not impeding, but being in the line of Leno's sight. Therefore, we're going to let you go over to the monitor. Given your on-field decision was goal, we're going to let you decide whether you want to keep that decision, or you think you have yourself made a mistake, therefore overturning it and disallowing the goal. And I was lucky enough to have the monitor there, and I looked at it and I thought, I just don't think that Vardy is intentionally sort of getting in the way of Leno. In fact, before the corner comes in, Leno sort of pushes Vardy away because he's quite close to him. And even then, maybe Leno's not very set in his position because he's sort of distracted by the antics of Vardy. Ball comes into the box. It's an easy header. I mean, it's quite frustrating that we've lost out on a set piece like that. But good header from Valpas, and on-field decision, goal, and then referee goes over and gives the goal. And I have to say, talking to others in the press, I just thought, to be fair, if that was Fulham and that goal had been disallowed, you'd be absolutely furious. So for the sake of the game and the Premier League rules, I'm quite glad the referee stuck with his on-field decision, just because, to be undermined by VAR saying, that your on-field decision is wrong. It's a subjective one, isn't it? Hence, he went over to the screen. But the goal was given 1-1. Obviously annoying. You want to keep a clean sheet. Fulham responded pretty well, actually. Rodrigo Muniz rising really high from a corner just a couple of moments afterwards. And Hermanson got up well and saved it. But again, Rodrigo Muniz putting himself about. Really good opportunity, good header. And that was really it for halftime. Just before the break, of course, Robinson went down holding his wrist. It was actually, he's been strapped up with his wrist basically all summer, or back end of last season as well. And it actually was his other wrist this time that was that he had injured, which Marco Silva confirmed after the game. And luckily he was okay to continue. So all was well there. And obviously, luckily, he was able to continue, because let's get on to the second half, where like I said earlier, it was a bit stop-start, lots of free kicks, lots of little fouls, and there was no real flow to it. Of course, what was Valpas doing? Just backheeling it into, he didn't know where his teammate was. Backheeled it, intercepted by Traore. He's got to play that pass a split second sooner. Muniz then sort of scoops the ball over the bar when he really should have hit the target. If he'd have scored that, then it would have been such a silly mistake from Fass, and he got away with it. And Fulham, that's a big chance. Kenny Tete rose highest from a corner and headed over as well. That didn't even make the half-hour highlights reel, but I do remember that, the front post. Fulham were like sort of knocking on the door, but didn't have that. Okay, the Muniz chance was big, but like it wasn't like they weren't like testing the keeper or anything. And then suddenly out of nowhere, Fulham make a few changes. Tom Kearney comes on, and suddenly the ball to his feet, he plays it out to Robinson, and already Robinson's on the ball and Iwobi's on his bike. He knows that there's going to be some sort of ball at some sort of stage. I love this from Robinson because usually Robinson takes the ball and he'll drive forward with the ball and try and play it inside or to the other winger and then make an overlapping run. But this time, first time ball cuts out all the defence. Leicester don't know what to do. They know that Iwobi's onside and running through. And actually, the angle that Iwobi's running at is quite good because he's basically in on goal. Harry Winks tries to keep up with him. It was such a strange goal from my view because, okay, maybe if you're in the crowd, you're sort of seeing this all unfold in front of you and going, oh, good, big chance for Iwobi here. But I was looking down at my laptop, I looked up and I saw the pass from Kearney and I saw the pass from Robinson. And it just suddenly, it was like within 5 seconds, we were in, out of nowhere. The ball was safe and then suddenly we were in. Like the club tweeted, back to front in like 10 seconds. But, that quick pass from Robinson, it's one of the best assists you'll see this season because it's such a clever pass just through that corridor. Is it a corridor of uncertainty? It's not a corridor of uncertainty. It's just laid on a plate for Iwobi and again cuts out all the defenders. Iwobi runs onto it. And even then he takes like one more touch than I would have wanted him to. And the shot is just got enough power and Hermansen gets a big touch on it, but it still goes in. And yeah, like from my position, I was like, oh, we've scored. Not like, oh, yes, we've scored. It's like, oh, we've scored. Like that came out of nowhere. And Hammersmith end went crazy as expected. Obviously delighted. Managed to keep my my composure for the second goal. Not so much the first, but I think it just caught me by surprise personally. But yeah, brilliant. And just felt like I haven't felt as relieved that we've scored a goal since like Luton at home last season when Vinicius scored. We had to win the game. And I know people have said to me this week, like, you're so pressed on Fulham having to win this game. And I'm thinking, yeah, we do have to win this game. We've got to get off to a good start at home. And I think many would agree. So I just felt relief when we went 2-1 up. And I'll tell you what, from there, Leicester, I wasn't impressed at all, really. I thought they really... Okay, yeah, they had spells of possession where we were under pressure and we had to sit back a little bit, fair enough. But in terms of chance creation, they had a free kick that was blazed over by Ayew. They had a shot in the 94th minute that was like deflected and Leno just caught it at his near post. Maybe a scramble in the box a little bit late on as well, which was a little bit hairy. But apart from that, nothing. No real attack. And this is the thing, like, this is not Leicester analysis. It's more of a observation that I made. Once Vardy came off for Ayew, you're replacing a 37-year-old for a 32-year-old. And I just thought, like, okay, Vardy's a very good striker. Still at his age, like, causes issues. And, last week was brilliant against Spurs. But then, Patson Daka out injured. You got Ayew. I just don't think there's enough firepower in that Leicester team. Buonanotte is a good player. Fatawu Mavadidi, like, I like that a lot. And Didi, Winks, Skip, some good options there in midfield. But I would be quite concerned if I was a Leicester fan. I would want another striker that's really like proven at Premier League level. Patson Daka's always been a bit like, yeah, he can score some goals, but like he was better in the Championship with Leicester last season and obviously did really well for them in the Championship. But I don't think that Vardy going on like 37 years old, well, he is 37 years old, Ayew and Daka, I don't think that's good enough for the level. If that's not enough goals, they're going to have to get goals from like Fatawu, Mavadidi, Buonanotte. That was my thoughts, but good news for Fulham. It didn't really have to concern us. A couple of frustrating moments for Fulham, like the Pereira free kick. Again, I just don't know why he's shot there. Like, he's got Wilson on one side, play it to him, and then suddenly you can get a quick cross into the box. That will basically catch out the defence. And then he just float it in like a normal free kick. He had all the men up and he just shot. And I just thought, what are you trying to do there? I think Pereira didn't have a great game. I won't lie to you. And I was talking to my brother about this earlier. Once Sander Berger comes in, I think the midfield three should be Berger, Lukic, who was brilliant, and Smith Rowe as the 10. And then you've got like Iwobi, Traore, Wilson as options on the wide areas. If we get another wide man in before the window as well, there you go. Muniz as well up top, and obviously Jimenez and Stansfield as options, who's Stansford can also play wide as well. Yeah, Pereira, not great for me at all. Wasteful. Obviously, some really good set pieces. That's fine, and like that's what he brings to the team. And good pressing off the ball, like we always say. But on the ball decision making in the final third for me was just really off, really, really off. But I'm not. I don't want to sit like we won the game. That was just by one sort of observation, and I think most people will agree that Pereira didn't have his best game. Although FOTMOB has given him 8.1, but I think that's just because of his set piece delivery. I thought Diop and Bassi were good again. Diop had another good game. Robinson, brilliant. I mean, great assist. That wins the game for Fulham. That assist is brilliant. Well taken goal from Iwobi. Really impressive Smith Rowe. Really nice. Just said it earlier, linking the play, floating balls out wide, just quality stuff. And what a finish as well for his goal. Traore. Yeah, I like Traore from the start. I am a fan of it. It's such a weapon to have him from the start or him from the bench. He's just going to cause problems. And yeah, sometimes his decision making, like he said with that chance with Muniz, a little bit off in terms of his end product. But again, like really good shot, Hermanson on target. There's no keeper there that goes in, obviously. But yeah, I like Traore. He's a good asset to have, and it's good to have him as an option because last season he was so injured that he was hardly featuring. Tete, brilliant. Leno, called upon. Yeah, good save. Was Leno the only save he had to make? Was the one in the 94th minute and then the one from Bobby Reed? Probably was the only saves he had to make. That header from Belfast was very close in. Like, it would have been almost impossible to save that. Lukic, really good, really tidy. And this is what I'm saying. Berger, Lukic, Smith Rowe, that's the future, in my personal opinion, of our midfield. I know that Silva loves Andreas and what he brings to the team. But his end product in terms of his final third, decision making and shooting from like 35 yards from a free kick when he had every man in the box was just selfish and frustrating. But if he doesn't buck up his ideas, he might just have to shift out the team. But yeah, squad's in a good place. And a word for Muniz, loads of chances, bicycle kick, of course. I think he had a little header in the second half as well. I can't seem to remember, but he had like 3, 4, 5 quite good chances. And I was debating with a friend yesterday about Muniz's impact, and I said, like, even if Muniz does not score in a game like yesterday, as long as he's holding up the play, which he did for the first goal, and dragged that defender away, which gave the space for Traore, then I'm happy. If Muniz is not involved in the goals, as long as he's holding up the play, linking the play, and helping the team, I'm really happy with that role. And then, of course, he should have scored 1 or 2 goals yesterday, and those goals will come. If he's playing like that and he gets chances like that, the goals will come for Muniz. He really is putting himself about. His aerial presence now is much better than it was, obviously this time last year, but even when he was getting into the team last year, like really good aerial presence now, and I'm really pleased. And look, we've still got Berger, we've still got Anderson to come back in the team. We've got Jorge Cuenca to come back into the team as well, or to come into the team. And I can't wait for Tuesday night now against Birmingham. I can't wait because the rotation is going to be fantastic. It's going to really speak to our squad depth and the options that we do have. Let's just touch on the players who did come on. TC, great yellow card. I mean, he probably shouldn't have done it. That's 2-2 now for TC in terms of yellow cards. Wilson also got booked as well. Trying to think Wilson went through and he actually grabbed Skip. I didn't realize that. I just thought Skip had his shirt and it should have been a pen, but actually Wilson made the initial contact on the shirt as well. I just couldn't see it from the angle. Jimenez came on, did well. I think Jimenez again did well, held up the ball nicely. I liked it. And Harrison Reed came on, which was really interesting because he played like really far up. He didn't come on as like another sitting holding midfield, which I think was quite good because that would have invited more pressure on, I think, and encouraged Leicester to come on to us a little bit more. And Harrison Reed was playing really far up and basically just trying to pick up the ball whenever Fulham would be able to get it away from danger. And his energy was great. And in the final moments of the game where he was basically in to score and the referee blew his whistle. What I didn't realise in the game after watching it back is Christensen for Leicester should have got sent off. I mean, he should have. He obviously got a yellow card, and then that was a foul on, I think it might have been Pereira or Wilson. I think the one that led to the free kick that Pereira wasted. It was a bad foul, and given it's a yellow card as a late challenge, it should have been a second yellow, in my opinion. So Leicester quite lucky not to go down to 10. Other subs that didn't come on, Bender, Cuenca, Castagna, Sessegnon. Lovely to see him back at Craven Cottage, and Jay Stansfield. I expect we'll see a lot of those names on Tuesday against Birmingham. So really excited for that. In terms of Leicester, they brought on Ayew, like I say, Oliver Skip, Mabadidi, and McAteer quite late on. Other unused subs, Ward, Chowdhury, Okoli, Pereira, and Sumare. Really pleased. Really pleased Fulham got their first 3 points of the season. It was looking nervous. If we'd have got 1 point, yesterday and 1 point from 2 games, I would have been pretty annoyed and frustrated. But Fulham, were they good value for the win? Absolutely. Absolutely good value for the win. Actually, if you think about it, we really did restrict Leicester to chances. Okay, they won the header from the corner. It happens. Bobby Reid shot from range. Apart from that, a little deflected shot in the 94th minute when they were trying to get the equalizer. Can't remember who had the shot in the end. It might have been, I can't even remember who got in the shot. I'm not even going to guess who it was. But defensively, okay, caught out from a set piece. It happens, like I just said. But pretty good for Fulham defensively. And even like last week against United, quite good defensively as well. So you chuck Anderson into the mix, Jorge Cuenca. I'm smiling because for the first time in like forever, we've got 4. In my opinion, I saw Cuenca play against Sevilla and was really impressed. I think we've got 4 really good centre backs, and Diop. I love the fact that Diop now has got to really up his game because he knows Anderson's knocking on the door, and Diop didn't do anything wrong yesterday at all. So I love it. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up there. I'm insanely impressed with how this team is looking. Marco Silva was delighted after the game, as expected. Relief to get that first win, I'm sure. And look, we go to Ipswich next week, who took the lead against City. We've all been there. Fabio Carvalho scored, and then 2 minutes later, it's 1-1. And the joy, I sort of felt really sorry for Ipswich. That joy lasting, about 90 seconds or just over, like it did for us back in that FA Cup tie. Leading at City is a fun thing to experience, but it all gets snatched away from you fairly quickly. And they were 3-1 up within like 4 minutes of the equalizer. Great day of Premier League football yesterday. Really good. Hopefully more of the same today. Although I'm not that infused by the Super Sunday picks, but you've got to roll with what they offer you. Good to see Bobby Reid back. That was fun. And yeah, let's call it a day there. Fulham 2, Leicester 1. Really, really happy, as you can tell. Spring in my step, and it all sort of, we got today. Luckily, there's a Fulhamish podcast I'm going to be on later, so I get another Fulham fix today, and then tomorrow is the press conference, 9 a.m. in the morning for Birmingham. So we do not stop, not for a bank holiday. Thank you so much for our new Patreon members over the weekend. Very exciting. Hopefully, we can get some more from now and until next week and beyond. Thank you for I think we're on like 540 subscribers now, which is really cool. I'm going to try keep pushing up towards 1,000 and beyond. So thanks for all the support on YouTube as well. I know it's obviously, we're in a space now where there's quite a lot of Fulham content going up. Lots of people making really good, high quality Fulham content, and I'm very pleased to be sort of just a small part of it. Yesterday was great. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you get really cool content. You get, in like sort of behind the scenes of what it's like to be in the press box, my thoughts from the press box, half time, full time, and when the team comes out, what sort of food we're eating, what sort of people are in the press box or the press room, and then obviously the press conference after the game, which went up as well. And also we have some really exciting content coming at this evening, late evening, on the Patreon. I won't actually spoil it for those who want to have the surprise. But thanks to a very, very nice colleague of mine, we have some really good content going up this evening. So I'm very, very excited for that as well. Okay, 25 minutes for a review. It's quite a long one, but Fulham won by 2-1. I someone in the comments said that I'm yapping too much. But I will yap all for an hour and a half if Fulham have won a game of football. But let's call it a day there. We've got plenty to do in the next few days. Birmingham away to come in just a couple of days' time. Can't wait for that. Thanks so much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video as well, share with your friends, and say, look, this is a cool take on Fulham 2, Leicester 1. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. And for Leicester fans who might be watching, I thought you were a good outfit. You just need a little bit more quality, especially in those attacking areas. And Fass and Vestergaard, like, they were okay, but like I said, they've got mistakes in them. Even that Vestergaard foul at the end, bit clumsy on Harrison Reed, and that basically won us the game, got us over the line. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back on Monday with more reaction and maybe more transfer news. You just never know. There's still another week of the window. Take care, guys, and we'll speak very, very soon.